Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So last night, Kamala Harris went on CNN and the interview went as everyone with a brain would have expected it to go. Not well at all. It was a word salad. She didn't make any sense whatsoever. The questions that she was asked, I thought some of them were relatively okay to ask, but then Dana Bash decided to be so soft on Kamala Harris. It was absurd and obscene, if you ask me. But hey, I'm an Australian looking at this. And as an Australian, I'm sure all my American audience and friends would be just like, Jay, I know, I get you. As an Australian looking in and being frustrated, can only imagine how you guys, as an American, must be feeling right now seeing this nonsense on full display. You know, George Orwell was right. We're living in a very dystopian future whereby if you decide to gaslight the living hell out of everybody, you're more than likely going to win. That's exactly what Kamala Harris and her lapdog, Tim Walz, are doing. Exactly what the Democratic Party are doing. Now, they could have gotten away with not having Kamala Harris do any interviews whatsoever because this stuff will actually take place. But nevertheless, they're like, you know, we're going to bow down to the pressure. We're going to control it. But one thing you can't control is exactly what Kamala Harris says and how she says it. Because no matter how you try and make Kamala Harris sound, she sounds like an absolute numbskull. That's me being kind and polite, believe it or not. She's got no intelligence at all. And it's really quite concerning that the Democrats have pushed this person, because she's literally a DEI hire, onto the front and center stage for all America to see. Not only is she for abortion up until birth, and they don't care about babies that are born, they want to kill babies that are born if they survive an abortion attempt. Not only is she a downright murderer, but she doesn't know how to run an economy. She's been in the position now for almost 4 years and done literally jack all. Everything that she touches turns to utter crap. Haven't you already seen what took place at the border? Just one example. She was the border czar. But as the mainstream media love to do, they love to twist things. Joe Biden himself gave her that job. She didn't actually go to the border at all. What did she do? She twiddled her thumbs the entire time and allowed migrants to come through. Hey, welcome. And then she complained when people from the border rocked up at her front doorstep and was like, you shouldn't be here. It's only a utopia for the ones that are in a position of power because they love the position of power and that utopia that they've created for themselves. But anyone outside of that utopia, it's a living hellhole that the people in that utopia have created for you. So you better get used to it, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of Americans are so, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of people that I have seen, quite concerningly, support this fraud, support this dingbat that's got no idea what's left or right, as it would seem. Every single time I watch interviews or I see this woman talk, I significantly lose brain cells and I get dumber. That's me being kind again. Now, also, Kamala Harris wanting to debate Donald Trump. The tweets that Kamala Harris's team write from her account, which is rather interesting if you ask me, like the writers are just going, you know what, I'm getting paid for this anyway, so I may as well just say and make up the dumbest crap possible. You know, she will attack Donald Trump. And that's exactly what she did in the CNN interview. She blamed Trump for everything, even though she's been in power for the last 4 years. So even if Trump hasn't done anything wrong, he's still to blame. Like, talk about election interference. You're creating a narrative that this guy that hasn't even been in a position of power for the last 4 years is the bad guy, and somehow he had some sort of control over the Senate or whatever. So when a bill came past her desk, it was vetoed, and they weren't allowed to do anything with it because Trump apparently is the boogeyman and didn't allow it to happen because Trump said, no, not going to have that. Can't possibly have that. Like, mate, take some personal responsibility for goodness sake. None of these Democrats seemingly have any personal responsibility. This is just Kamala Harris, right? I'll get to Tim Walz in just a moment because he was equally bad, if not, just equally bad. But anyway, here are a few clips of the shocking interview that took place last night. So Dana Bash decided to ask Kamala Harris the question that everyone has been wondering. Have a watch at what she said.
My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers, so they can just have enough to put a down payment on a home, which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it. So now, as I travel in the state of Georgia and around our country, the number of seniors that have benefited. I was in Nevada recently, a grandmother who showed me her receipts. And before we capped the cost of insulin for seniors at $35 a month, she was paying hundreds of dollars, up to thousands of dollars a month for her insulin. She's not doing that anymore.
You maintain Bidenomics is a success.
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000.
It's a great question. Why haven't you done any of the things you just decided to go, as president, I will do them? You're vice president. You have a great deal of power as vice president, but you've done nothing. It's all good and well to talk about what I'll do as president, but you haven't done them now. What makes you so certain that you're going to do them as president? One thing that you got to love about politicians is they love the word salad. They love the vomit. They love to say things on like they sound like a broken down record almost. They lie through the skin of their teeth. But the thing is, a lot of people that watch the news, watch CNN, trust CNN, they've got this problem. You know, they couldn't possibly think or believe that what this person is saying is not true. They can't grasp that thought. No. It's the mainstream media. I've got to trust them. It's Kamala Harris. She's the vice president. I've got to trust her. I've got to give her the benefit of the doubt. There's no possible way she could be wrong. Mate, she's definitely wrong. That does happen. So she says to start off with, we had to recover as an economy. The economy was at its best it's ever been. And you went and destroyed it. So you should have said, firstly, we had to destroy the economy that was great because we didn't like Trump at all. So we just had to destroy everything that he did. We destroyed all the good that he did. First day in Biden's presidency, the moment he came into office, he stopped drilling. He stopped the economy. It just started falling flat on its face. People. That's what took place. And we had 4 years of Biden and Kamala Harris doing jack all. Biden spent more time on vacation than he did in the Oval Office. You didn't do anything except make America worse. You increased the drug problem in the country. You increased the migrant crisis. You increased the poor economy. You increased everything bad. That's your legacy. And you're going to make it worse. We can't have Commie Harris or Commie Walz, Comrade Walz and Comrade Harris in positions of power because they're going to make it worse. Now, here's another interesting clip for you all to watch. You said, this is for Tim Walz, you said you carry weapons into war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. Have a watch of Tim Walz use his word salad to try and worm himself out of this one, but also at the same time, throw his wife under a bus.
The country is just starting to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am. They know where my heart is. And again, my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
And the idea that you said that you were in war, did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will.
You don't speak like the other American people, I'll have you know. You speak how you want to speak, and that is like a baby, if you ask me. So if you've got anything in common, you've got everything in common with babies, because you act like one and you talk like one. So just saying, Tim Walz's legacy is the tampon man. So he wanted to put tampons in men's bathrooms, so that's exactly what he did. His other legacy is to let Minnesota burn while the Black Lives Matter riots took place, and he cheered on. Sure, destroy property. By all means, go for it, mate. I don't really care. Do whatever you wish. I'm all for this. Destroy, destroy, destroy. That is Tim Walz's legacy, ladies and gentlemen. But also, he blamed it on a grammar issue. Poor grammar. And then he throws his wife under the bus. Some man, right? What man throws his wife under the bus? Take some personal responsibility, damn it. And also, what new president of the United States needs their vice president to sit with them during an interview? I understand the whole, we've got to show some unity and that sort of narrative, but far out. You got the nomination to be the president of the United States, but you've got to have your vice president. Trump doesn't need his vice president with him when he's doing interviews. Grow the hell up, mate. And here we go. Kamala Harris decides to blame Trump yet again on something else that it wasn't even Trump's fault or problem. But Kamala Harris, again, with the word vomit and the word salad, trying to blame literally everything, including the border crisis, on Trump. Have a watch.
During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings. Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock, and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to ask
Not only push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Just one other.
So those were just a couple of clips of an 18-minute long interview that was total garbage. It was rubbish. But softball questions. Now, on the contrast, Dana Bash did an interview with Trump's vice president, J.D. Vance, and it was completely different. Dana Bash did not hold back at all. She went full throttle. She attacked Vance. Can't do that with Kamala Harris, can we? Because Dana Bash is obviously in support of Kamala Harris, so she wants to get on Kamala Harris's good side. When it comes to JD Vance, for example, no, I don't like you one bit, so I'm going to viciously attack you. That's not fair journalism, is it? No. Just lowball everybody. It's ridiculous. Now, anyway, after the interview, this piece of news, this gem of a piece of news came out. ABC News rejects Harris's request to change debate rules. So you want to cheat even more because you're afraid that if you do debate Trump, you're going to get obliterated and annihilated because he's a much better debater. You're a shocking debater. You can't talk for crap. So quit while you're ahead. Otherwise, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So ABC News finalized the rules for the September 10th presidential debate on Thursday, rejecting Vice President Kamala Harris's last-minute request to change the format. According to the outlet, the upcoming debate will require both candidates to remain standing, prohibit the use of note cards or cheat sheets, and mute the candidate's microphone unless it is their turn to speak. Okay, fair enough rules. I wonder what Kamala Harris wanted to change them to. Wouldn't have been for Trump at all. So this is what I was talking about in regards to JD Vance in the interview. Benny Johnson goes insane. We all watch CNN's Dana Bash treat Kamala Harris and Tim Walz like a Make-A-Wish children or Make-A-Wish children last night. Soft questioning, no follow-ups, no receipts, but it's completely different with JD Vance. Got to attack him. Now, Tara Bull goes, top 10 stories the mainstream media didn't headline this week. Number 10, Kamala Harris drops at least 5 points in national polling after a CNN interview. Mainstream media won't report on that. Gee, I wonder why that is. Could it be that we can't ruin her perfect gaslit narrative that she is this incredible woman? She ain't. She's anything but that. And I'm like, okay, Democrats, is this the best you've seriously got to offer? Mate, we're in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. I'm not even American, but we're in a significant amount of trouble. So hopefully Americans make the right decision and vote Trump. And I know people have been going the last couple of days about Trump's stance on abortion and the IVF and that controversy. Look, you can't have everything. You literally can't. I know you want it to be one way, but if you vote for Harris or you don't vote at all and Harris gets in, you're going to be up crap creek. Just saying. So vote for Trump because he's the lesser of the two evils. And he actually makes some sense. But hey, what do I know? Anyway, my friends, you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.